idea for me, it originally began with May, starts out with an M. Then we have music. Then there's Mother's Day, and then there's the new book, which I thought was Joe Dispenza. It was very nice to be able to give me, Making Your Mind Matter, and then we have Memorial Day, and then we have music again, because at the end of the month, Carrie Hillary will be our special guest. So there's the M&Ms, the sweetness of life in a beautiful month of May where we have no complaints whatsoever. So back to the lusty month of May, which reminds me of Camelot, which reminds me of Spamalot. And how many are familiar with Spamalot, the show? Okay, well, in case you're not, well, wait a minute. How many of you you had to be Monty Python fans? You were singing along. Yeah. Okay, so this weekend we went to see Spamalot at Laxon, and it was the Chico State Spring Musical, and it was wonderful, wonderful show, wonderful to see a whole bunch of all you out there, where I saw it, yeah, and we had a great time, and it reminded me how much I loved that song, Always Look on the Bright Side of Life. So as adults, or if you're talking to a colleague and you want to bring them to the center, and most of us get tongue-tied when we say, oh, why don't you come to the Chico New Thought Center, our church, and they go, oh yeah, really, and you don't know what to say, just say, hey, do you know Monty Python? They go, yeah. And you can go, always look on the bright side of life. And they go, oh, I love that. And you go, come to our center. Because that's what we do. That is what we do. So I was inspired by that, but then, of course, I went further beyond the show tunes. Show tunes are always just the entryway for me. And Spamalot, Camelot, they all talk about the Holy Grail. The whole show's about that and a few other sight gags. And the Holy Grail is significant. It's a huge metaphysical concept. It's a huge biblical concept because of the fact that the Holy Grail was originally thought to be the cup or the chalice that Jesus used at the Last Supper. And so the idea being trying to find the Holy Grail either archaeologically or metaphysically and spiritually, which even Spamalot says the Holy Grail is within. Duh. All those years when we were laughing at Monty Python, we didn't know that we were subliminally getting the concept of metaphysics of seek the Holy Grail while it is within. Oh, always look on the bright side of life. Yes. And so the concept being that if you can use these ideas to turn within, whether it's a Vedic meditation introduction tonight or a beautiful kind of gospel upbeat song that gets you to thinking about no complaints, no regrets, it gives you tools by which to go within to find the Holy Grail. So Gautama Buddha says, your purpose in life is to find your purpose and give your whole heart and soul to it. Well, you know, or maybe you don't, that the theme for 2014 here is passion and purpose. And so as we go forward looking for our grail, it is coming from a sense of passion about our purpose. And you've got Camelot story, King Arthur, you've got Spamalot, and they use the Lady of the Lake as the symbol to bring forth from the water, the baptismal water, speaking the font of truth. And for those of you who also know me or play words with friends with me, you know my handle or my name that I use, my username is Lady of the Latte. Because it represented Lady of the Lake. Well, I don't have a lake, but I have a lot of lattes. So I am Lady of the Latte. So if you ever see that, it's me hiding behind my moniker. Joseph Campbell writes, the theme of the Grail is the bringing of life into what is known as the wasteland. The wasteland is the preliminary theme to which the Grail is the answer. It's the world of people living inauthentic lives, doing what they're supposed to do, as opposed to the other parts of Joseph Campbell's work, following your bliss, following your passion, finding your purpose. And that is what this is all about. Those are the M&Ms that I can even eat, because that's the sweetness of life, getting in touch with one's passion and getting into purpose. So then I thought, well, what's something else for purpose? Because I'm talking about the M's, so I went to mission. you're under the age of 30, you may not know what the heck that song is unless you're a Tom Cruise fan. But those of us, thank you, Carl, those of us slightly over the age of 30 recognize that as the Mission Impossible theme. So I thought, purpose, mission, aha. And I know I'm going to get you guys on this one. I love this. Okay, so what was the opening sentence? Your mission, if you choose to accept it. Hello. You know, we baby boomers were really brought up in a metaphysical generation, and we didn't know it. Your mission, if you choose to accept it. So we are talking about metaphysical choice yet again. Your mission, if you choose to accept it. Now, wasn't that very kind of him, to Mr. Biggs, to be able to say, you have an option, you can choose. It wasn't, you must go out and do this. So it's very much like science of mind. We are giving you the tools. We are saying to you, we don't tell you what to think, we teach you how to think. We give you tools to think, to pray, to meditate, to go within and find the Grail, if you choose to accept it. We have touchstones, we have guidelines, we have all of these tools and instruments by which we give you, whether it's a quote, I think we still call it sermon, a song, that we are giving you ways to get rid of all of that stuff that Joseph Campbell refers to as the wasteland where you live an inauthentic life, to dispel all of that and get to a place of centeredness within so that you are your highest self, so that you are being authentic. And if you're being authentic, I know that there's passion within you. I know that your purpose is being revealed. And if you're fortunate enough to know what that is, yes. If you're still on the journey, the quest to the Grail, yes, because look what you did. You created a round table here by which we sit together and understand this process. We sit together and converse about ideas and ways that we may get rid of the stuff that, the dust and grit of the journey that gets in the way of our tapping into our passion and purpose. So I loved it because it really, the rest of what he said was, your mission, Dan or Jim, depending upon which season, should you decide to accept it. And then, as always, it said, the listener is reminded, should you or any of your I am forces be caught or killed, the secretary will disavow any knowledge of your actions. Okay. Because there isn't anybody who wants to sit there and talk about what you didn't do. We want to talk about what you do. We want to give you the tools to support you on that mission. Your purpose, your mission. And then I thought, okay, mission. Go back to the dictionary. Assignment, commission, journey, vocation, calling, purpose, function, life's work. Well, then there's other missionary things that really don't apply to us. And I suppose one could consider a minister, a preacher, a missionary. And in that way, yeah. But we don't send you out on a mission. We don't do it the way they do in the Book of Mormon. That's another Broadway musical, but that's how it works in my head. We don't do it that way. What we do is say, here is a mission, should you choose to accept it, and here's your backpack and tools by which you can walk that path, the journey to find your Grail. And so then, if you want to talk about missions, number 2, Carl? Yes. How many of you watched the Kentucky Derby yesterday? Oh, not, okay. If you didn't, that's good because I have stuff to tell you about it. Because if you want to talk about a mission, the horse that won, California Chrome, was on a mission with a passion and a purpose. And I know it's not March. I realize I look a little St. Patrick's-ian, but this is as close to the green that I could get to match the California Chrome colors for the owners and the people who trained him and all of that. It was this green, so I'm wearing this in honor of California Chrome. And what's so extraordinary about this beautiful horse that just won his 5th race in a row is, okay, you want to talk about a mission? So this beautiful horse was sired by a mare that they paid only $8,000 for, a stallion they paid $2,500 for. So $10,000 bred the horse that just won the Kentucky Derby, as opposed to usually the millions and millions and millions. And the co-owners, and let me get their names correctly, Steve Coburn and Perry Martin, who joined together, are what they just call themselves kind of regular old folks. They bought this horse. They just believed in something. They had a mission. And they brought together one of the oldest trainers in Derby and horse racing thing, whose name is Art Sherman, 77 years old. Also California born and bred and trained, much as California Chrome. And they put it together and they had this dream. They had this passion. They had this mission. And this horse began to beat all odds in all of the races, so much so that a very big corporation or partnership or whatever offered them $6 million for 51% ownership of California Chrome before the Derby. And they turned it down. Yes! They turned it down because they had a passion and a vision and a mission. And now their company is called DAP. Forgive me, but it stands for Dumbass Partners. That's the name of it. So you see DAP, and actually there's a symbol of a donkey or an ass on the jockey shirt. And it's because they felt themselves to be dumbass partners taking this risk, but following their heart, their bliss, and their passion, and trusting about this horse that until it started to win, nobody thought any took it seriously. A $10,000 horse is going to win the Kentucky Derby, Santa Anita, et cetera, and now he's poised and ready to go into, for the Preakness and to try and win the Triple Crown. So this horse, you should just like, fabulous looking creature. And all of, this is like, what is it? Now, this is 2014, so probably by 2017-18, we'll have California Chrome, the movie, because this is a story. This is, here is this guy, and it was the co-owner's 61st birthday yesterday. So not only did he win the Kentucky Derby, it was a birthday present, a dream come true, and there's more stories about the trainer and how it was another dream come true for the trainer to have won again because he was involved when he was 17 and had a winning thing. And this horse is California bred, born, trained, California Chrome, this color, DAP, a passion, a purpose, and a mission to win. I have to tell you that if someone waved $6 million in front of me, my vision might waver just a tad. I might go, well, maybe I could buy more things, or I could give better oats to California Chrome. There might have been a moment of, that just all in front of you. What? And I think he said it's kind of because we are kind of dumb that we just decided we wanted to follow it through the way we wanted to do it, and we planned it in the beginning. And watching that, it was like, yeah, really rooting. Oh, I have a new. Okay, today's date. I'm making a new word. Rooting for the underhorse. Underdog has been promoted. And maybe there'll be a new cartoon, Underhorse. So they were supporting, betting their lives, not only their money, but their lives, their hearts on this, that this horse would win, and the horse did so effortlessly. It was glorious. You can probably YouTube it, because the race itself is only like 2 minutes long, but you'll hear more about it, and I'm sure there'll be a movie. Maybe we'll do it as a field trip. When they make it a movie, we'll just all go and we'll see that together. So that's that. So Arnold H. Glasgow, who I've never heard before, but I love this, he says, make your life a mission, not an intermission. See, and you guys, you think I'm goofy when I say M&M's. Mission, this is it. Make your life a mission, not an intermission. And I know, because I've been there. There are times when we're just intermissioning our way through life, and sometimes I'm on an intermission, and it used to be I'd even binge during that intermission. It was like, oh, I don't want to deal with this, I don't want to look at this, I don't want to feel this. So you can binge on food, you can binge on shopping, you can binge on television, whatever it is that keeps you in the intermission mode, instead of taking a breath, getting clear, using the tools that we teach, and returning to the mission and the passion by which, now that you start on your your goal, your mission. Number 3, Carl. May the 4th be with you. Now, yes, that's cute. And I have to tell you that I owe that to 2 gentlemen for today, because as I'm getting ready for church this morning, I'd already kind of had written my M&M mission, etc. And then Don comes in and goes, "Oh, today is May the 4th be with you day." And I went, May 4th, today's May 4th. Oh, I have to use that. Okay, so I run in and I figure out, and so I change the title of my talk, and I'm doing all of that. And then I get here, and Carl asks me, "What's the name of your talk today?" And I told him, and he said, "Oh, yeah, it's National Star Wars Day, National Jedi Day." And I went, "What?" He said, "Well, yeah." And I went, "Are you kidding me?" He said, "No." So I run into my office, and I'm Googling. It is. Today is National Star Wars Day. Today is May the 4th be with you. Don't you love how Spirit is so synchronistic? Don't you love how it all ties in together? I mean, sitting there Friday night at Spamalot, I would have never thought I'd be here saying, "May the 4th be with you." And to keep it in the show tunes theme, I sound like Winthrop in Music Man, "If the 4th is with you." I wonder if he was based on Elmer Fudd. I don't know. But it is National Star Wars Day. And I bet there isn't anyone has anyone in here not seen Star Wars? Nobody would it be, really? Really? Whoa. Oh, if you guys would just show up, I would do a whole marathon weekend with all of them, and then we'd have a Q&A after, because, hello, the movie transformed our lives, but it mostly transformed the generations that followed us, because may the Force be with you, use the Force, Luke, all the stuff that we now take for granted as part of our jargon and vernacular and all the stuff that we do, it came from that film series. It came from the mind, the mission, and the passion of George Lucas, who, just kind of, I'm going to write a movie, and here's this goofy-looking little thing, and, Yoda and all that stuff. And then it started to expand because it was a higher purpose. It was a passion. It wasn't just a Hollywood gimmick story idea. And the reason it resonates to us is because it wasn't a Hollywood gimmick story idea. That's why things like Wonderful Life or Wizard of Oz still play, are still classics, because they're resonating the truth that is within us that is outpictured on the screen. And, of course, with the technology, by the time you got to Star Wars, it just expanded. And I know that for many of us, when we began to see certain things on the screen that we hadn't seen before, there were things that might have happened in one of your meditations, and it was like, oh my gosh, look at this out-picturing. And that's what this does. So today, even though it's kind of, funny that May the 4th be with you. Well, it is the Force. We often teach in foundations class, in one of the basics classes. When people come to religious science, I find that they sometimes have a resistance to the word God, either because they were brought up in a very strong dogmatic thing, or they were raised that God is, the bearded guy with the robe in the sky smiting. Again, talk about Monty Python, smiting you. And then we come here and we're talking about God, and so a lot of people find that they're thinking that kind of God, an anthropomorphic, vengeful God, and we're talking about a principle, an idea. And so when they come in to class and I see that they're having a little struggle with the word or the use of God, I'll say, how about the Force? Oh yeah, that's cool. They can use spirit, they can use life or infinite intelligence and force. So it's become part of who we are. It's really woven into who we are. May the Force be with you is really saying, namaste. The Christ in me acknowledges the Christ in you. Namaste. May the Force be with you. So what fun it is. I couldn't resist, even though it was an entirely different talk than I thought I was going to do. And I wouldn't have this opportunity on a Sunday for another 6 years or 7 years to be able to do that, to bring that. Oh, so if you're all here in what would that be? Wait, 2014, 20. Somebody add that for me. Think that. Whatever that was, you come back and I do it again, you'll think it's brand new, and you'll bring new people, and they'll go, oh, isn't that interesting? I never thought of that. What fun, woohoo. Yeah, that's how we'll do it. We'll do it that way. Steve Maraboli, in his book, Life, the Truth, and Being Free, says, your greatest self has been waiting for you your whole life. Don't make it wait any longer.
Again, please.
I will. And again, I'll just give it credit to Steve Maraboli. Your greatest self has been waiting for you. Yeah, it's kind of deep, isn't it? Your greatest self has been waiting for you your whole life. Don't make it wait any longer. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to reveal and uncover your greatest self and not put it on hold or intermission any longer. Whatever that means to each of you individually and differently about where you are in your life, because some of you are just starting a career, some of you are just leaving a career. It really doesn't matter about our age or our position in society. It's about getting in touch with the passion and the purpose and our mission, whatever that may be. And it is truly up to each of us individually to reveal what that mission is. And frankly, sometimes I think it does change. And I think we need to give ourselves a little bit of credit and space for that to happen, because I'm sure many of us grew up, some people wanted to be doctors and astronauts, others wanted to be stewardesses and nurses or moms or, and ballerinas. It doesn't matter what you thought you wanted to be when you grow up, unless it's still in there and you've buried it over the years. And now it's like an archaeological dig and treasure, and you get back to what it is that brings forth your passion and your purpose so that you are living your life and not putting it on hold. Mark Zuckerberg, I think the young guy kind of knows what he's doing. He said, if you just work on stuff that you like and are passionate about it, you don't have to have a master plan with how things will play out. This is the guy, the young guy, who started Facebook, in case you didn't know the name Mark Zuckerberg. I think he kind of has a sense, I'm not talking about whether he's a good guy or whether he was, he had a vision, he had a passion, and he made it happen. I don't think, because he was going through college, I don't think he had a particularly, oh, I better do it this way. He just trusted it. He followed his passion, and he didn't wait. There wasn't an intermission. And he's transformed our lives. I'm sure he's probably a changed guy now too, but he's transformed our lives the way that we can reach out. He's really doing kind of an intergalactic thing when you think about the World Wide Web. And when I think about what Facebook has meant, I know it's goofy, and I know some people don't like it. And there are things about it that annoy me. And yet this week, as you've heard, when we had the transition of Jezebel, we posted it, Don posted it, I posted it. I can't tell you what it felt like to have the love, the support, and the prayers. I could feel it, because I posted it the morning that I knew we were taking her to the vet. And I said, just light the way, make sure the rainbow path is clear, here she comes. And people responded. And you knew they got it. And you knew it wasn't just random stuff. People took the time. Lots and lots of people took the time to comment on both of our sites to be able to say, we're with you. Here's the light. I'm sorry for your loss. I know what it's like. How else would that happen? I mean, I know it happens here, and I am grateful for the loving support and prayers and cards and everything that we've gotten from our family here. But to know that Mark Zuckerberg just followed this kind of, I think I'm going to do this, and here I am in college, and turning the world around, that we have a connection with people that we haven't seen. Don and I were talking about people that we haven't seen for umpteen years, saw the post and responded, opened their hearts to our heart because of Mr. Zuckerberg's mission, vision. I don't care if he had a master plan. I'm not going to go look at his business plan. I'm just thrilled he did it. Who knows? Wonder what he's going to do next. But, I'm not worried about him. I want to know what I'm going to do next. I want to know what you're going to do next. I want to know your mission, your passion, your purpose, so that I can be there to support you. And even if the journey gets a little wobbly, as it can and does, that we're here as your spiritual community to support you along the way. Richard Bach, author of Illusions, and Jonathan Livingston Seagull, said, here's a test to find out whether your mission on earth is finished. Dun, 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 dun. If you're alive, it's not. Well, you go, oh, yeah. And I'm not trying to be morose, but when any of us experience a transition of a loved one in a family, no matter whether it's 4 legs or 2, and when something like that happens or a big tragedy, it really does put things into perspective, doesn't it? You really do get that sense of clarity and awareness and gratitude and blessing, and you wake up, you hear all kinds of ministers and books and stuff talk about, first thing in the morning when you wake up, give thanks that you're alive, and you want to do that, I want to do that, we do that, and there are mornings when you wake up and you go, oh, and you put the covers over, right? We have those human days. And when we have opportunities in our lives such as this to remind us that this is really a gift, we were really blessed, and okay, maybe the covers come up over our head and we have an intermission for however long it takes, but then it's time to not put the covers down and to not put our life's mission on hold, because it's waiting for us. Spirit, life, God, call it what you will, the force, is waiting for each of us to say yes to the mission that calls to us, whatever that is. And it's okay if you're in a place in your life, because we've all had them, where it's like so challenging that maybe the mission is just to wake up and get clear and get out of bed. Maybe the mission is to make a phone call or fill out a job application or do what it is that one has to do to maintain. I'm not going to use the word survive, because we don't survive here, we thrive. And then it sort of builds up, and then you come here and you get reminders, you get hugs, you get prayers, you get food, sustenance. You get to, what did I say in the affirmation? I give you permission to nurture your nature. Nurture yourself, your divine nature. So that's what this month, M&Ms, is all about. It's candy for the mind? No, I think it's nourishment, because I know that music and mission and mothers all inspire us to be who we are meant to be, to live authentic lives so that we are on purpose and we have passion. And that, because I know once we get in touch with if you find your passion, your purpose will start to reveal itself. The dust, the grit, the boards that you've hammered in front of it will all start to fade. And that's why we come here. That's why we offer the classes that we do, to give you tools wherever you are on your journey, wherever you are on your path. You are safe and you are loved and you are welcome here. That's our mission. Wow, I guess I'm done. Whew. It kind of just went, I didn't expect that, but I also didn't know I was going to talk about this until an hour ago or 2 hours ago. So I think we ought to pray. So take that breath. Oh, the sweet, infinite breath. So if you're still breathing, you know you're still alive, you're still at work, you've still accepted the mission. You have said yes. And it's not an impossible mission. It is I am possible mission. I am possible. The I am that I am. The God within is who I am, right here, right now. You breathe that in. And whatever inspiration, wisdom, or levity that you shared or felt throughout the service this morning, it will find its right placement within your being. Trust that. For right here and right now, breathe into this powerful, unique moment that will not be here in 3 seconds from now. So catch the now. Breathe the now. Be the now. And allow yourself the sense of gratitude, to be grateful than rather to be right. To realize that you have no complaints. There may be challenges in your life, yes, but you have no complaints because God is your source and supply. God, infinite intelligence, the force, that which created you, supports, sustains you, animates you, will always be there for and through and as you. So as millions of people today gather with a consciousness of the fun of May the 4th be with you in Star Wars Day, if we get conscious and know that the underlying mission, passion, and purpose of Mr. Lucas and all of the other creative collaborators, know that we're teaching that the Force is with you, that there is no try, only do. As we know that truth, we are connecting with like-minded souls around the planet. And most importantly, we are connecting with like-mindedness within ourselves, turning within, seeking the holy grail of this infinite wisdom that always has been, always will be, and does reside within you. So today, give yourself permission to reveal your holy grail. Today, give yourself permission to find your mission. Permission, I just got it, didn't even think. Permission. Yes, oh Spirit, I so love you. I am so grateful for who and how and what you are, how you show up, the serendipity, the purpose, the wisdom, the connection, the now. So whatever it is that any of us have on our minds or hearts on the plate for prayer, put it into the center of the room, into the prayer hopper and the consciousness of God, and know that it is handled. And I am so grateful to join in this consciousness of infinite truth with the One. That now all I can do is be grateful, is get clear, and now surrender it all back. So that I can step aside and begin to reveal what it is that is the passion, the purpose, and the grail. Yes. And I just give more humble thanks. As I release this, I affirm it, I lovingly let it be, and I ask that you join me as we say together, and so it is, and so I am, and so we are. Amen. May the Force be with you.